What's up, Guardians? Caligul here. In this video, we are going to explore hunters. So without an ado, let's start the video. Hunters have basically three light subclasses and a dark subclass, which is stasis. In the three top light subclasses, we have arc, solar, and void, just like the rest of the other characters. Hunter's base class ability is dodging. You can dodge near an enemy or wherever you want, but the base dodge helps you. Say gambler's dodge, if you dodge near an enemy, it will recharge your melee ability, while dodging near an enemy using marksman will reload your weapon. Solar subclass has an additional dodge, which is the acrobat's dodge. Here, when you dodge using the acrobat's dodge, you will get radiant. Radiant is nothing but an additional damage buff. While using this radiant, you can also radiant your teammates, which is a good thing to do. Other than that, dodging while using void will make you invis due to the fragments. So let's go through jumps. Hunters have three types of jumps with an additional jump on, which is the blink. Generally, we should be using triple jump. With triple jump, you can jump 3 times. It's good for platforming and your day-to-day game style. While using blink will make you a bit teleport, but that's only on arc hunters. Like every subclass, I will be having different melees and grenades associated with them. The solar melee and the solar grenades, while the void having its own melee and its own grenades. Apart from this, we have aspects and fragments for each and every sub. The arc aspects and fragments, and the solar aspects and fragments. So let's now go in deep, talking about what subclass to use and where. With Voidwalker, you can have 3 different supers: the Mobius Quiver, the Deadfall, and the Spectral Blades. And on top of that, we have aspects and fragments. If you like playing the fantasy of going rogue, invisible, and weakening your enemies, you should be going void. It's a great thing for survival as well. As with void, you can go invisible while just dodging. And when you fire an enemy, you will come out of the invisible. Moreover on that, you can use your melees to get invisible. Also, when you throw a melee on the enemy, it will burst into a cloud of poison, weakening the enemies. For supers, we have the Mobius Quiver. Here you can fire 2 shots of arrows, which will be tethering all the enemies nearby, and you can attack them. It's a good for DPS as well when firing multiple shots on the same enemy. Deadfall is just another way of Mobius Quiver, but here instead of 1 or more volley, you have just 1 volley, which will be tethering the enemies and making them immovable, while you can use your other weapons to attack them. The last subclass of Void is Spectral Blades. Here when you perform a super, you will go invis and you can go and attack enemies, while again going invis using your heavy attack. It's good for PvP, but not that good for PvE. Now let's move on to Solar. Solar has basically 3 supers: the Deadshot, Golden Gun, Marksman, and Blade Barrage. Blade Barrage is very good for DPS, while Marksman and Deadshot can be used in various activities. You can use Deadshot in PvP, while you can use Marksman for a bit damage to the bosses, though at the moment Blade Barrage is much better. Radiant is all about burning the enemies, adds, getting buffs of weapon using Acrobat Dodge or getting Radiant. You can simply use aspects and fragments to create awesome builds to deal much damage. If you see the Blade Barrage, you can throw a volley of knives which will be damaging the enemies. While the Golden Gun, Marksman, or Deadshot, you summon a pistol and you can fire the enemies using that. So if you fantasize on playing Gunslinger today, Hunter on Solar is the way. Now going to the monk style, the Arc. Arc has basically two different supers, the Arc Staff and the Gathering Storm, with the basic blink and additional jump, and the aspect and fragments just associated with the other subclasses. You can create multiple awesome builds. Arc is using the way of the monk. You can use the Deadfall super, the Gathering Storm, just to put heavy DPS on enemies by just throwing this volley of the spear. While the other super, the Arc Staff, you can dodge, you can use your melee to deflect enemy attacks, light attack, heavy attack, jump attack. This is a very good attack super for at clears, going into PvPs, especially with using blink. You can just chase down your enemies and go on a killing spree. Last but not the least, now let's go through the darkness subclass, Stasis. Stasis has just one super, Silence and Squall. It has its own set of melee and grenades, which are of three different types, and the same aspect and fragments style system that was shown in other subclasses as well. Stasis is all about freezing the enemies. You can either use glacier grenades to create glaciers, breaking them, getting buffs, and freezing everything with your super. The Silence is called super creates a tornado which will track down your enemies, freezing them. It's a really great subclass for PvE and PvP all over. That's for Hunter. If you like the video, please share and subscribe. Also, anything that you want to know or get knowledge on, please share in the comments. Have a great day, Guardians. Peace out.